YouTube, back with another video about the Nintendo Switch 2, and boy has this been a very jarring release. A lot of controversy, but then also a lot of great things. Listen, I've had it now for a week, been literally gaming on this thing, and the number one thing that I have been having with this Switch 2 is fun. And I think we're losing the essence of gaming. There are truths out there are technicalities. Listen, I think the essence of gaming that we've lost is just fun. Even on the brand side, I think they've lost that essence as well because, they chase dollars and so forth, game pricing and whatnot. There's a lot of things, but I think it's all starting to overshadow all of the chatter on YouTube is the essence of fun. I've literally been having fun on this Nintendo Switch 2. I was just playing Fortnite. I'm typically a Call of Duty Warzone player. I don't really do the Fortnite thing, but I was having fun. I was in there, I was chopping, number one, and I was having fun. COD tends to just, boil my blood, and there's a lot of issues over there right now. So it's been really good to just kind of I don't have hair to lay down, but let my hair down and play Mario Kart World, which, let's be honest, Mario Kart World is a great game, but I also think that Nintendo missed the ball without dropping a first-party story mode focused game like a Mario, or even like a new Zelda. I know there's stuff that's supposed to be coming. Maybe even that Donkey Kong title should have been dropped alongside of Mario Kart. I don't think you drop Mario Kart alone. We need a new Smash Bros. And things like that. I know there are games that come in at initial release. It's always like that with these consoles. Is not many games. PS5 Pro, case in point. Not many games when it dropped. Not a lot of support, not a lot of true PS5 Pro games. But if you are a PlayStation gamer, you're probably having fun. And I think that's one of the things that I'm wondering, do you guys have fun anymore? All the comments, it's not 4K 30, it's 1440p. Who cares? If it looks good, when I dock this Nintendo Switch and I boot up a game, the quality that I see on my 4K television or right here at the 4K monitor looks really good. Now, I'm not going to pixel peep here because, like I said, these are essentially PC gaming handhelds, but console, the whole essence of console is affordability and a, how can we say it? It's like a nerfed PC. Let's be real. It's a nerfed gaming PC handheld, and it's nerfed to goodness in order to meet, that price point for consumer friendliness. It's one of those things that a lot of people can have more access to. Now, with the Switch 2 price point inching in that PS5 territory and whatnot at $449 going into $500 for the bundle, that's where I think a lot of people started to be like, well, let's compare this to this and that to that and all that. But even the PlayStation 5 is a bunch of up-resin AI nonsense. You know what I mean? It's not true 4K native gameplay and whatnot. So that's where if you really are about that, if you want to pixel peep on a console, you might as well build a gaming PC. But then here comes gaming PCs cost so much. I knew you was PC Master Race. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, bro. What are we doing here? Are we having fun or are we just arguing and pixel peeping? That's what I want to point out with the Switch 2. Now, let me get into some of my user experience. This grip right here, putting the Joy-Cons into here and playing. Here's what I want to say about the Joy-Cons. The joysticks on the Joy-Cons are not my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. They're cool. They'll get you by. If that's what you have to use and that's what it is, you'll be okay, right? But the joysticks are not my favorite. So when I have this set up right here, I have no problem ergonomically using this right here. It was the joysticks. When I was playing Fortnite, which is a little bit more necessary for you to have accuracy and whatnot, it's the tension, the I don't know, it's not there. So I have to pull out, this is the older Switch Pro controller, but once I did this, I was chopping in Fortnite. I was getting down because the joysticks in here are a lot better. So the Pro controller for sure, highly recommend. I'm actually going to pick up the new Pro controller because I'm hearing positive things about it in comparison to this one. Or bump all that. Let me just see for myself. Some of this stuff is a lot of people listen to what everyone has to say and then they form their opinion from what everyone else is saying versus you experiencing it for yourself. Now, again, I'm not telling you to go out there and spend $500 on an experiment. No, but I'm just saying a lot of comments, a lot of regurgitating, a lot of creators even regurgitating what another creator said and whatnot. Listen, man, get past all of the noise. Is it fun? Now, if you have a Switch One and you're trying to make, decisions and then you balancing that becomes a different topic of discussion. If you are a non-Switch owner and this is your first Switch that you're looking to get into, the Switch 2 is ideal. It's fire. It's going to give you more power under the hood, better visuals, a better overall experience. And yes, the games are going to cost you more going this route and whatnot, but it's setting you up for the next, 8 years or whatever that we're going to be until we see whatever Nintendo's bringing next. So I highly recommend, if you do not have any Switch consoles, you don't have the Switch 1 or the Switch OLED and you're looking to get into a Switch, the Switch 2 might be your go-to. Now, if your budget is, on the diet and you can find a Switch 1 or a Switch OLED at a better price point, hey, by all means, respect the budget. Another thing, I want to get into the essence of user experience with the Switch. The beautiful thing about the Switch, whether it's for you or if it's for your kids or whatnot, is the portability of it. Full-on console that you can take with you. Now you have the dock, and you can dock it at home, you get more power and more graphics and whatnot, but when you're on the go, this thing is so ideal. Being able to flip out the kickstand, prop it up on a surface that's high enough for your visuals. Basically, you have essentially your monitor, your console, and your controller all in one at once. Anywhere you want to go. You can take this grip for light travel, snap the Joy-Cons in there, now you have a controller. You know what I mean? Or you can get Pro Controller, the newer one. I'm going to try the newer one. That's the older one, which is fine too. Again, the portability. And here's another beautiful thing. I'll give props to the Switch, even though I kind of dinged it a little bit for not being the most ergonomic design. It is super slim. It's super slim, sleek, and very minimal. And that matters in portability. So I can understand a lot of the decisions that Nintendo made with this console and being stubborn with their design and continuing it on, because you can grab third-party grips to add that ergonomics if that's something that's, super, super important to you. Actually, let me grab it while we're talking about it, right? Okay, so case in point, since we're talking about these, let's pull them out, right? So I was thinking about maybe having some more ergonomic, ergonometry happening back here in this area for the grip, but then people said that it would take away from the natural use of the Joy-Con when you break them off and you make them individual controllers, which I can understand that argument. I'm gonna grab some of those, third-party grips and see if they affect this portion of it. And I gotta be honest, that's a fair, assessment, and I gotta respect it. So I think all in all, you guys, the screen is better. No, it's not OLED, and no, it doesn't defeat the Nintendo Switch OLED's display. You know what I mean? I'm even seeing comparisons to where the OLED display is brighter, which is crazy. But yet in all, it is still a larger footprint of a display and a better display than the Switch 1, without a doubt. I'm pretty sure at some point Nintendo may go OLED and whatnot. They're gonna milk and finesse. They're gonna follow their roadmaps. All of these consoles do. PlayStation, PlayStation Pro, PlayStation Slim. You get me? It's the same thing across the board, and with the Switch, it's always the Switch OLED, and then I guess the new one. Now, controversial-wise, the game pricing. I'm with you guys. It's crazy. It's a little jarring, especially for the Nintendo game to be the first game to go up there at $80. Yo, not the nicest price point, especially bringing older games or enhanced games and charging you a full smackaroo of retail of $79. Listen, bro, hey, cash grab for show. I'm with you guys, and I can understand the uproar in those perspectives. So not gonna argue against that at all. I think people are very justified in their frustrations and in their POVs in that regard. I still haven't played with the free roaming in Mario Kart World and whatnot. Again, it's Mario Kart, I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna run a couple Grand Prix, and then, it's only so much racing you can do. It's only so many hours you can put in, but the game is a really nice game. It's really well developed. It's fun. It's fun. That's the number one thing is when I'm on the Switch, I'm having fun, and I'm not super tense, super crazy. You know what I mean? I'm just chilling. I'm I'm vibing. If you're not into Nintendo first party games, then a Nintendo console at these price points probably aren't ideal for you. Because if you want a console that's just all around and you want to be able to play third party titles and bring Cyberpunk over here and all that, I don't think it's the most rounded console. I look at Nintendo consoles as ideal for first party Nintendo games, or maybe some third party that are like really, really tailored here. You know what I mean? But outside of that, I don't see it as an all around console. And that's fine because you got your Nintendo Switch for your Nintendo type stuff. I have my PlayStation PS5 Pro for my PlayStation type stuff, aka exclusives. I got my Xbox Series, you know what I mean, and Xbox Game Pass for my Xbox stuff. And then I have my full out gaming PC for, all of that stuff. Now we do have the Xbox handheld coming, and I think the Xbox handheld is gonna bring a lot to the table in handhelds. Allegedly, we got to see because we only know so much. There's still more things to be revealed and pricing and stuff, but that's a different ballpark. But the beauty about it is it's gaming PC handheld goodness in a console like delivery, with a console like UI, a stripped down Windows. You don't have to deal with all of the craziness. It's just UI, your games, having access to Steam, having access to Battle.net, having access to your Game Pass and Xbox natives and whatnot. Listen, it's something to be on the lookout for. But reeling it back into the Switch 2 1 week later, my overall user experience has literally been fun. It's literally been positive. I haven't had any of the issues that I've seen some people out there speaking on, thankfully, yes. No battery issues, no craziness, no crashes and whatnot. Now, I have seen, people digging into the, what do you call it? Like the licensing agreement and these consoles and this controversy of Nintendo, like saying that if you mod your Switch, which is not really your Switch, that they could brick your Switch and all this stuff. I don't listen. That's tough. That is tough. I don't know, bro. It's a real big disconnect. And there's a lot of other ways you can go, and you can still Nintendo it, if you know what I'm saying. A lot of people, I've seen some people in the comments talking about that too. I'll just wait till I could, emulate and all this stuff. So, listen, the consumers are the prize, brands. Your consumers are your prize. Like, you gotta respect your consumers too. Like, it's not just about you and what you want to do and manipulating and all that stuff. Like, you guys have to respect your consumers. You gotta find a fine line. We gotta find a nice middle ground that totters, back and forth. Don't be too one way heavy. Don't be too brand focused and not consumer focused. And you can't be too consumer focused and not brand focused. So you gotta find that balance, essentially. But all in all, again, wrapping up my first week with the Nintendo Switch 2, it's been fun. It's been cool. Yes, I wish there were more Nintendo first party games, especially like a story mode game that you can get locked into for more hours, like a Mario game or a new title of Zelda or whatnot. Like, that would have really set off this instant, like this release would have really took off. Now, speaking on this release and it taking off, boy, did it ever. Now, I just saw online, I'm gonna read these off, I'll put it up on the screen. How fast did the Nintendo Switch 2 sell? So apparently they sold on average 875,000 units a day, and over 4 days they sold 3.5 million units. This is the fastest selling console to date. If you look at the comparison, in second place would be the Sony PlayStation 4 at 131,250 units a day, over 16 days to get 2.1 million. You go to the PlayStation 5 at an average of 113,333 consoles sold a day, and in the first month 3.4 million. The original Switch paled in comparison to the sales of the Switch 2 with 91,333 consoles a day, and it took its first month to get 2.74 million. And then at the very bottom there's the Valve Steam Deck, which again, I think the PC handheld market is still evolving, but at 2,253 units a day, it took 4.5 years for the Steam Deck to reach 3.7 million. But again, that was a new market. It's evolving. So I'm not looking at that in a negative light. The positive light is things like the Xbox Ally X and whatnot that's coming. So amazing. Despite all of the narrative of, the content creators, oh my God, this is a terrible old Nintendo scam. Hey, listen, the consumers have spoken. They do not care. They are not pixel peeping. They are happy. They are excited. And they have supported this release tremendously. So, you know, you get on here. You can be a technology snob if you want to. You get in the comment section. You can be, you know, pity party all day. You can be negative. You can even be a non-owner of the Switch 2 and be just over here hating online all you want to. The people that love it, the people that want it, they got it. And they're having fun.
Yeah, let's see how you do under pressure.
And guess what? Guess what you should do? Let them have fun. Go, all right, you like what you like. Go play what you like. And leave the people over here that like this and let them like this. Joy-Con drop. I ain't want to drop them though.
Yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra.